Hi, welcome to another video for Tarot October, and today's video is another pick a card reading. I don't think I already did a pick a card reading for Tarot October, but this is a pick a card reading, and it's gonna be, I'm gonna be using this spread called Understanding Myself through Tarot, or at least that's the name that I gave it, but I actually got it from the Good Karma Tarot deck, the guidebook that comes with it. So yeah, let's get to it. I have chosen a couple of crystals that I'm going to show you, and you can pick your pile through whichever crystal you are connected with. So the first crystal is this red calcite piece that's gonna be for the first pile. Then for the second pile, I have this little mystery stone. I actually got this from my childhood when I was about 11 years old. It's like this mystery stone. I don't know what it is, but I felt really called to use it for today's reading. Then for pile number 3, I have this little piece of sunstone that I think is really cute, and I really wanted a piece of sunstone, so I wanted this little one. So that is for pile number 3, the sunstone. For all piles, I will be using my Light Seer's tarot that hopefully I also used for the thumbnail for this video. So yeah, let's get to it for pile number 1. So pile number 1, we're first gonna look at how do others see you. So this is a spread that you can use yourself if you want to do this reading for yourself as well. I always really like seeing other people's videos on how other people see me. And for sometimes it can be like, why do you need to know how other people see you? Because the most important thing is how you see yourself, and though I definitely believe that there is some truth in that it's very important that the way that you see yourself, I think you can get some information, you can get some value out of how other people see you, and you can also get some lessons out of there. And sometimes we see ourselves in one way, and then other people see qualities of us that we don't see ourselves. So I think that is useful. So let's see, how do others see you? Pile number 1, who chose the red calcite. We have the Temperance card. People find you very balanced. I don't know if some of you maybe never voice your opinion, or almost never, or some of you, I feel like a lot of you might not like getting into a discussion, or that is, again, this is how others see you. That is something that other people think about you, that you don't like discussion, because you like to see both sides of the coin, if that makes sense. You like to see both sides. You don't like to very much focus on one side being right over the other side or whatever. You like to see both sides. As well as you being, I think you come across as a very patient person who kind of has their shit together. I'm not saying that is true, but I feel like people see you as that kind of person. People see you as somebody who has their shit together, as somebody who maybe even, like, you can tell here in the card, it's like a sort of an angel. So it's almost, I feel like you give hope to people in some way. Some of you are really wise, and I want to say that because the Temperance card is associated with the zodiac sign of Sagittarius, and Sagittarius are default in the ninth house of wisdom, of philosophy. So I feel like a lot of you come across as this person who is very wise but doesn't feel the need to necessarily share that wisdom in a very aggressive way. I feel like you don't talk about certain things unless you're asked to. So you're definitely not a pushy person with your beliefs. I do feel that you have strong beliefs and things that you very much believe in, but you don't really feel the need to share that and to make other people believe the same thing. I also got the 10 of Pentacles that just flipped out. And the 10 of Pentacles is a card of, again, having your shit together. So I definitely feel like people look at you and they think you have your shit together. They feel secure with you. They feel like you have some sort of strength, and people tend to love to talk to you or tend to look up to you in some way because you seem to have this security, this generosity, around you, and people really love that. I do want to say that because you don't tend to talk too much about your beliefs and maybe even yourself for some of you, and because you seem to have all your shit together. And people love to come to you for help. An advice that I can get from this is to not be a pushover. Looking at these two cards, I feel like most of you are not pushovers and you very strongly stand for what you believe in. But that is something that I'm getting. So let's look at the second question. What is your greatest character strength? I feel like we already talked about some, but what is your greatest character strength? Ooh, I have the Knight of Swords. I really like this card. You can tell here, this Knight of Swords, he is a go-getter. And I feel like that is also something that you are. When you know what you want, you are unstoppable and you go for it. You are determined, you have determination, you can very well motivate yourself, and you can be very ambitious. So I think that is a beautiful character strength. What fear or obstacles should you be tackling in your life? So I think that is a really interesting question for this spread. It's about understanding yourself. And now that we have more of a grasp on what kind of person that you are, I would love to see what fears or obstacles should you be tackling in your life. Oh, I have the Sun. And usually the Sun is a card of being your authentic self, having a positive outlook. For some of you, it could be that one of your obstacles is that you see the best in people who don't deserve it. That could be an obstacle. Of course, I do think that that is a beautiful quality to have in a person, that they tend to see the best in people. It could also be that it is the opposite for you, because it's an obstacle, it's a fear. Some of you might actually be afraid to be your true self in front of people. Some of you might have a very pessimistic mindset and think very negatively either about yourself or life in general. And that is an obstacle that is gonna hold you back, because if you don't see things with perspective, and again, we do have the Temperance, so I do feel like you have some perspective, you can see, or maybe that is just what people think of you, how people see you, but deep down, you can't really see you can't really see the best in people, or you can't really see the best in a situation, and you find it very hard to actually be your true self, your authentic self. The Sun, when I look at it in reverse, because again, it is an obstacle, it is not enjoying your success. So we do have this Ten of Pentacles saying what people think about you, but even though you might be successful or you might have some sort of success, I feel like you're not really enjoying it. And there are some blessings in your life that you are still pessimistic about, and you are not appreciating the blessings that you have in your life. Of course, when bad stuff is going on, I'm not saying just look at the better things that you have in life, but because sometimes the negative things can weigh really heavy on us, and it's just really hard, and for some people even impossible to focus on the positive. But again, when we look at the question, what fears or obstacles should I be tackling in my life, the Sun card came up. So I think that for you, it's very important to look at any pessimistic mindsets that you have, any pessimistic thoughts, maybe write them down. And then if you cannot think of something that sort of rebukes, kind of goes against that pessimistic thought, and then come back to it later, so you can kind of train yourself in turning those very negative mindsets into positive thoughts, or other I think that feels right. Yeah, that feels right. So now I want to look at what opportunity are you missing, or might you be missing? What opportunity might you be missing, guys? I got the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords is there's just thoughts that weigh very heavy on you, and some of you might be dealing with anxiety. Some of you might be struggling with nightmares, with sleep. I don't want to say deprivation, but some of you aren't getting enough sleep. Some of you might be having a lot of nightmares, being very worried and overthinking everything. But I guess what opportunities you might be missing with the Nine of Swords is the recovery of, because we did get the Sun in reverse, like as an obstacle with the pessimistic mindset. And I feel for some of you, this is kind of hard to talk about, but there are some opportunities for you to recover. And some of you, I'm not saying that this is everybody, but some of you might be finding it very hard to ask for help when it comes to dealing with your pessimistic, and for some of you, anxious and depressive thoughts and mindsets and like brain shifts is what I'm almost feeling. So I think an opportunity that you need to grab is to ask for help to deal with the heaviness that is in your mind right now and that is in your life right now. I think that is an opportunity that you should grab. It's not always easy, because what is help? What does that look like? For some of you, it could be therapy. For some of you, it could simply asking a family member or a friend for some kind of help. Sometimes doctors' offices, at least that's where I live, doctors' offices offer some sort of, it's not really therapy, but it's somebody confidential that you can talk to that can help you. There are online resources to help you. I'm feeling it. But again, to look kind of at the bright side, when we look at this opportunity that you might be missing and that you are encouraged to grab onto, it's recovery, it's mental healing, it's trying to get over your anxiety. And as simple as that sounds, I know that is definitely not simple to actually do, and to kind of gain a new perspective of life in general and life and you as a person as well. So let's see, what area of your life needs your attention right now? What needs your attention right now? Oh, I got 2 cards. I have the Seven of Wands. Usually you can see that, and it could be true in this card too, you can tell that she is kind of resting, she's meditating, she's thinking, trying to rest in some way. Or is it like it looks almost to be in a crystal ball, and I don't know if she's being attacked or if these are what kind of wands or spears almost these are. Usually this is about having your defenses up. So, and it's also a card that indicates some people trying to hurt you in some kind of way, and to really hold your ground and to not give up, but to stay true to your principles. So with principles, do you truly have, like, again, we had the Temperance card that indicated how others see you. But do you have very strong principles? Are there any things that you very strongly believe in? I would love for you to kind of write it down and to give that a little bit more attention, so that if people test you, or how right now you're trying to understand a little bit more about yourself, you can kind of learn about yourself. What are some principles? What are some things that you find very important? And out of those principles can come some boundaries that you can set within your life when it comes to communicating with people, when it comes to communicating with yourself. You can set some real strong boundaries. So that is what I'm getting from the Seven of Wands. And then I also got the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is more of a card of being balanced and being in control. So again, I feel like a lot of people see you as balanced, but a lot of you might definitely not feel as balanced. Some of you are like juggling a lot. So that is something that you can literally see in the Two of Pentacles, juggling a lot. And there could be possessions, there could be ideas for you. I think it's a lot of worries. You're juggling a lot of worries and juggling a lot of things that you have going on in your life. And this was about the area in your life that needs your attention right now. I think you need to find some way to really maintain, I almost want to say, the lifestyle that you are on. I want you to maintain mostly yourself. I don't know if that makes sense for some of you, but maintain a healthy mindset, maintain a structured routine even for some of you. I want to see what it is that you need to maintain. Oh, we got 8 of Cups, walking away from, well, we have Cups, so walking away from some emotions, walking away from some emotional feelings, walking away from some people who don't serve you, who don't deserve to be in your life. I think that you need to maintain very, like, I almost want to say a clean slate when it comes to people in your life, so that you are not being taken advantage of, so that you have people that you can talk to, have people that you can trust, have people that you feel comfortable with. That is what I'm feeling. So maintain almost your social circle. I maintain a healthy surroundings, and with healthy I mean that serve your mental health in a good way. Now I want to look at what is your priority next step for in the next month ahead. So when we look at, like, we're right now almost halfway into October. So what is your priority next step for the month of October, starting of November? What is your priority next step? Priority next step. Strength. I love that. Finding your inner strength. Your priority next step is to really take more care of yourself. The strength card is associated with Leo. Leos, they have courage. Leos, they kind of know, like stereotypes, right? But Leos are self-aware. They are dependable, not just for other people, but for themselves as well. And they have, the strength card indicates having great self-control. So I think that what you need to learn, the best next step, your priority next step, is to first of all start finding ways to have more compassion for yourself, to be more in control of your own thoughts, again by writing them down. That is actually something that I learned in therapy. Recognize your weaknesses, but know that you can be in control of that. Of course, there are always things in life that you don't have any control over, but we have ourselves, and we can be in control of ourselves, our reactions, not necessarily our emotions, but we can be in control of how we handle those emotions and any thoughts that come to us. So when it comes to the strength card as your best, like your priority next step, creating a little bit more, like I said, compassion for yourself, a little bit more self-control, being more self-aware, being more aware of when do you put yourself down, what thoughts do you have that put you down. That is the reading for you. Like, wow. Pile number 1, I hope you are doing okay. This was kind of a tough reading to get out. I got a lot of feelings, I got a lot of thoughts while shuffling your cards and pulling your cards for you. I hope you are doing okay. I would love to hear from you in the comments down below how this resonated with you. And if you want to book a personal one-on-one tarot reading with me, you can do so through the links in the description box below. If you like these pick a card readings, definitely subscribe to this channel. I do them all the time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi, pile number 2. You chose like my nostalgic mystery stone from my childhood. So we're gonna go into the Understanding Myself Through Tarot spread that I named that way, but I got it from the Good Karma Tarot deck, or the guidebook. So we're first going to look at how others see you, and that might be a little counterintuitive when it's about understanding myself, but I think that a part of understanding yourself is looking at how others see you and kind of getting a feeling of how does it feel? Do you agree with those like perspective, or do you can you learn anything? Is there anything that other people see as your qualities that you maybe don't like or didn't even see? So that is why I like the question of how do others see you. So let's look at how other people see you. I got the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is a card of acceptance. It's a card that indicates being stuck in limbo, so being stuck in the same routine maybe for some of you. Some of you might be a little bit bored or come across as kind of not really taking any steps in your life. That doesn't always have to be a bad thing, especially when it comes to the Hanged Man. They specifically and intentionally take a break, take a step back, and kind of accept the way things are, so that life can kind of go on and we can kind of step back whenever we want to. And the Hanged Man is also a card of calm after the storm. So some of you might have gone through something when there is like a stormy or a chaotic relationship or just a chaotic life energy in general. And this is kind of like the calm after the storm. So it's really a great time to be doing, to be looking ahead, to be looking at where you are now as well. So that is how other people see you. I think that is very interesting. People might see you as somebody who's very passive, but there's definitely more depth to it. And you know that. I think that most of you know that. So next we're gonna look at your greatest character strength. What is your greatest character strength? I would love to see that. What is your greatest character strength? We have the King of Cups. I had to read it for a second. The King of Cups is somebody who's very emotionally mature. I feel like even though sometimes it might not feel that way, but you are definitely in balance when it comes to your emotions. You are in control of your emotions. A lot of you are also very creative because the Cups suit is a suit that's very much talks about creativity. I think many of you are very inspirational. How do you say that? So that is definitely one of your character strengths that not only for yourself, you are very creative, something that you might enjoy for yourself, as well as being in charge or being in control of your own emotions, or at least being very aware of your emotions. And I feel like some of you might also be very great at expressing your emotions and talking about it and kind of not bottling it up. But also to other people, you can be very inspirational, and I don't know if it's the control of emotions or the creativity, but there's something about you that inspires people. I think that's great. Next, I want to look at what fears or obstacles you should be tackling in your life. Now, the last pile went pretty deep after this question, so let's see, what is a fear or obstacle that you have that you should be tackling in your life? Let's see. I have the wheel. So I don't know if you are used to being very lucky in your life, that things kind of go smoothly, but there might be something coming up, like a turning point. I want to say turn of events. I'm feeling like there's a transition, there's a turning point that where usually when you get the wheel, that indicates something positive, that indicates something good, but we kind of got it as an obstacle, so I should read it in reverse. And your fear might be that you are not in control anymore. That might be for some of you a fear that you have. For some other people, it might be that you are very afraid that your luck is gonna run out, or there might be an obstacle where there are some things that are kind of like bumps in the road, but some of you might be making it a little bit bigger than it has to be. So that is a fear or an obstacle that you should be tackling right now. Like I said, some of you might be a little bit down on your luck, or might be feeling that way. And again, but I do feel like most of you are making it bigger than it has to be, and that there are very easy fixes, very like ways of kind of get back on top of it, if that makes sense. So now we're gonna look at what opportunity you might be missing. What opportunities might you be missing? I have the 8 of Cups. I got this in the last reading too. I know, not for this question, but the 8 of Cups is a card of leaving things behind. And since we have Cups, you can think of leaving emotions behind, leaving feelings behind, leaving people that you used to have a connection with behind. So what opportunity might you be missing? For some of you, it could indicate that the Eight of Cups is what you are already doing, and that you are leaving behind people who could have done really great in your life, who you could have really had a great connection with. So that is an opportunity that some of you might be missing. But for some of you, I think you need to leave some people and feelings behind in order to meet new people, and that is the opportunity that you might be missing. So I think that it's really important that you look at what you are doing and what you have done. Are there some toxic people in your life that you need to walk away from and meet new people? Or have you recently kind of cut out people that you didn't need to cut out? Maybe. Like, have you ghosted some people that didn't need to be ghosted? Just saying. Now I want to look at what area of your life needs your attention right now. What area in your life needs your attention right now? I have the Ten of Wands. Okay, so the Ten of Wands, usually you feel like overwhelmed, being very burdened, but when it comes to this card, I feel delegation. She here is on a trip, she's doing, she's going somewhere, she's on a journey, but she is not carrying all her baggage, all her luggage by herself, because she has delegated it. What is it in your life, maybe even in your career for some of you, that you are doing that you could delegate to others, or some things that you can simply let go of because they don't need to be on your to-do list, they don't need to be in your thoughts, they don't need to be in your agenda, in your planner. So when it comes to, what was the question? The question was, needs your attention right now. It's, some of you might be taking on too much, and that is something that needs your attention. Really kind of try to minimize and try to, minimize. I think that's a great word. Kind of minimize and declutter, also a great word. Your life, your planner, your thoughts, and to really feel more in control so that you can kind of get out of that hanged man phase and kind of go on to bigger and better things. That is what I'm feeling for a lot of you. And then in the last question, what is your priority next step for the next month? So we'll have like the rest of October and the beginning of November. What is your priority next step in a month ahead? Your priority next step. I got the Lovers. For some of you might be in a relationship, of course, some of you might not be, but if you are in a relationship, your priority next step is to really give some more attention to your partner, give some more attention to your loved ones, the people that you have a deep connection with, because they might have been feeling a little bit neglected for some. But it's also just gonna fuel you. You know, we are in Libra season. There are a ton of planets in Libra right now. So, and even though the Lovers card is associated with Gemini, I do feel when it comes to commitments and when it comes to deep connections, I also think of the card of the sign of Libra. So I think this is a great time to invest some more time into any partnerships, any relationships. I also wanted to pull this card. We have the Emperor. Some of you might be wanting to start your own business or start some sort of project that you have had in your mind for a while now. And I think you just need to go for it. I think you need to, so the Emperor is associated with the sign of Aries, and I think you need to embrace that Aries energy and go for it and kind of get yourself out of that limbo. And so your priority next step is to really focus on the things that you find important. And again, I think that goes great with the minimizing and decluttering thing that we had with the Ten of Wands. That you really need to look at the things in your life that you find very important. And sometimes to do the things that you really want to do, you need to let go of control a little bit. And I feel like control is for some of you, control might be a thing that is very hard for you. So that is your reading, pile number 2. I hope it resonated with you. I would love to hear your thoughts on this reading in the comments down below. If you want to book a personal one-on-one tarot reading with me, you can do so through the links in the description box below. And if you enjoy pick a card readings, definitely subscribe to this channel because I do them all the time and I would love to have you here. Thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you next time. Hi, pile number 3. You chose the little itty bitty sunstone. I actually really like it, but I would love to get a bigger piece of sunstone. So we are going to look at understanding yourself through tarot, and we're going to start with how others see you. And I talked about this for the other pile, so I want to talk about it for you too, that it might be counterintuitive to look at how other people see you because the most important thing is how you see yourself. But I do think that we can get some value and some information out of how other people see us, because sometimes it can be very accurate and you're like, oh wow, people really see me for who I am and for how I am. And sometimes you're like, oh, that is how people see me. So you can either kind of try to embrace like some sort of qualities that other people see that you have that you don't see about yourself. Or it can be like, oh, I really don't like if people perceive me that way, but I understand how they perceive me that way. So you can change maybe something in your behavior. I'm not saying change yourself because other people see you in a certain way. But sometimes it makes sense, you know, if people constantly think you're a bitch when really you're trying to be nice to everybody, but that apparently doesn't come across. It's like, why do people think I'm a bitch? How can I, what can I change about my behavior so people don't think I'm mean all the time? You know, more like that. So, how do other people see you? Let's look at how other people see you. I have the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is being in a place of being content, knowing that you have worked hard. So people, I think people see that you have worked hard. People see that you are comfortable. I do feel like with the Nine of Pentacles, some of you might be influencers who portray this, or it's like the vibe of an influencer who portrays that they are very successful and very comfortable and abundant, and that they are enjoying what they have. And for some of you, it could be that you're enjoying what you have because you have a lot, or you pretend online you have like this. It's like very much the influencer kind of vibe that I'm getting, if you know what I mean, like the Instagram influencer that constantly flaunts that, I don't know, that they're on vacation, or that they have bought something new, or something like that, that somebody who is living a very comfortable life. Now, I'm not saying that that is you. It could be that people think that way about you. It doesn't have to be in material things. It can be that you're just very content with where you are right now, or that people perceive you to be very successful and very content with where you are, and that even though you don't have everything in the world, you still enjoy what you have. I feel like that is how people perceive you, that you are in a great place in life. It doesn't have to be the best place, but it's definitely not the worst place. People, I think people recognize that you have worked hard to be where you are right now. And I do feel like sometimes it can be that when you are happy, when you're successful, people envy that. I don't get that feeling with you. I don't get the feeling that people envy you in a way that they think you don't deserve what you have. I think people are happy for you and they might want what you have for themselves, but it's not like out of a place of bitterness. That's not what I'm getting at all. So next we're gonna look at your greatest character strength. So what is your greatest character strength? Pile number 3. I have the High Priestess. Some of you might be psychic. Some of you might be having a gift, a spiritual gift. Some of you might be very spiritually connected, or working on being very like your spirituality. The High Priestess is connected to the moon, so it's about being very intuitive. A lot of you have that great gut instinct, that great gut feeling that you feel is always or almost always correct. I feel like some of you might even be a little bit mysterious. So people know that you are successful, but maybe they don't know everything about you. Like there's way more depth to you than people realize. That is what I'm getting. That's what I'm feeling. Yeah, I feel like some of you might be great at keeping secrets. That is a great strength. I do think that that is a great strength, because that means that people can trust you and people know that they can trust you. So yeah, those are some great strengths that I can see about you. Let's look at the next question. That is, what fears or obstacles should you be tackling in your life? So whatever card comes out, we're going to look at it in the reverse, because it's going to be a fear or an obstacle. We have the King of Wands. Oh, wow. So the King of Wands, when it's upright, it's somebody who is like a visionary. They are a born leader. They're an entrepreneur, have this wisdom and compassion. So when we look at it in reverse, it's more that people think you might be a little impulsive and that you have very high expectations, maybe of yourself, of other people. If you are an influencer or something like that, you might have very high expectations of your platform, of your work. That can be a little overwhelming and really just hard for you. And that might be an obstacle in your life right now. Another obstacle in your life might be that people think, or you might be very quick to judge somebody, as well as not being the best example for some people, or that is something that you are almost leaning towards. Like if you go on this way and not facing this obstacle, not facing this aspect of you, then you can become somebody who is not a great influence. Like, I do have this feeling of influence with you. It doesn't have to be that you are an influencer, that you have a large social media platform. It could be that you are very influential in some other ways. It could be that some of you might be teachers or might be working with people that you have an influence on. And I think you need to be very mindful of what kind of influence that you have on other people. I think that is something that is a great focus for you. Next, I want to talk about an opportunity that you might be missing. What opportunity might you be missing? Let's see. Ooh. Opportunity that you might be missing. We have strength. That is interesting. So as an opportunity, because the strength card is a card of courage. Again, it's a card of influence. I'm feeling and getting that everywhere. But it's also a card of compassion, of patience, being in control of yourself, being very aware of yourself. So there might be an opportunity where you can gain more of that, where you can gain more inner strength. I don't know if it's, I want to say therapy, but I don't feel like that is it for the most of you. Let's see, what kind of opportunity? I want to get a clarifier card. What kind of opportunity are you might you be missing when it comes to the strength card? Is it patience? Is it self-control? Is it self-awareness? Oh, okay. My clarifier card is the Tower. Opportunity that you might be missing. Some of you might be trying to play it safe. There's the Tower indicates some sort of destruction, some sort of chaos. Some of you might be avoiding chaos. But sometimes we need chaos. We need changes in our lives so we can grow and so we can be a better leader. So we can turn this King of Wands into an reverse one into an upright one, and we can gather more inner strength and we can gather more courage and compassion, not only for others but for ourselves as well. And we can be more self-aware through any hardships, through any destruction that can happen in our life. So if there is anything in your life that you feel could be changing things in your life, don't be afraid of change, but don't be afraid of any changes, because a lot of times after destruction, after the breaking down of things, new things can start, new flowers can blossom, if you want to speak in metaphors. But that is what I'm getting as an opportunity that you are missing, that you might be holding on to some things, like there are some changes that are inevitable and you're trying to hold on to. No, but I don't want this to happen. No, but it kind of needs to happen. It kind of needs to happen so you can grow from it. That is literally what I'm seeing from the Tower and the Strength card. What area in your life needs your attention right now? Cards are being very chaotic. And one card, area that needs your attention right now. Judgment. Oh, I am getting goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps because the Judgment card is about finding your true purpose, finding out your calling in life. And some of you might be doing what you're doing and you're content, you are financially well off, but is it your true calling? Do you need to look more at your strengths? Do you need to look more at your intuition, your gut feeling? Do you need to trust that more so you can find your inner callings? We do have quite a bit of major arcana cards, I'm realizing. But the Judgment card is a card of awakening, of discovering your life purpose, of this self-realization epiphany that you have about yourself. And I think that that is something that you need to focus on right now, whether it is trying to use your gifts, trying to use your talents, your greatest strength that we have here in the High Priestess, and to use that for your higher calling, higher purpose. It doesn't have to be a career switch. It can just be something different that you're doing. And again, since we did have the Tower and the Strength card, I think that you need that change and that growth in order to figure that out. Last question is, what is your priority next step in the month ahead? So for the rest of October and November, what is your priority next step? I got two cards. Six of Wands, recognizing your successes, recognizing yourself, recognizing your talents, recognizing what needs to happen and what needs to change in your life, but also being proud of the person that you are, being proud of what you have accomplished already. And just because you're proud of what you have already accomplished doesn't mean that you cannot accomplish more, that you cannot go on and do different and more things. I also have the Moon. Trust your intuition, trust your gut feeling, trust your, what is that other word that I'm looking for? Not just intuition, but I guess it is the word intuition. Yeah. Trust your intuition is what I'm feeling. Your spiritual gifts, trust that. I think those are your priority next steps for the upcoming month. So pile number 3, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I would love to hear how this resonated with you in the comments down below. And if you want to book a personal one-on-one tarot reading with me, you can do so through the links in the description box below. And if you enjoy pick card readings, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel because I do them all the time. And I would love to have you here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.